Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our last Wednesday of January, early dismissal day. I'd like to start this morning by having everyone please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. I should probably be like Joe and Zoe and say, it is a high of 72 today. What a lovely day will await you as you have your early dismissal. We do so love our morning announcements, normally during second block, but since we're meeting right now, we'll go ahead and have announcements as well. I do want to let everybody know that today is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. January 27th, for the past 15 years, has been by the United Nations General Assembly designated as the anniversary because this was the liberation of Auschwitz 75 years ago. So today is International Holocaust Remembrance Day. You will see flags outside that are at half-mast in that remembrance. Today marks the anniversary of the liberation of the largest Nazi concentration and death camps when liberated by the Red Army. On this annual day of commemoration, the UN urges us to honor the 6 million Jewish victims of the Holocaust and millions of other victims of Nazism and to develop an understanding of peace to help prevent future genocides. Here's just another mention of how you can remember this today. At 1 o'clock today, there is a Remembrance Day commemoration. If you were to simply search International Holocaust Remembrance Day commemoration, and I will send that out to email addresses. At 1 o'clock today, there is a live commemoration that you could watch. During the ceremony, leaders from the United States and from Europe will join Holocaust survivors, few and far between at this point, in conveying the urgent responsibility we all share to protect the legacy of Holocaust history and to defend the truth, now more than ever as we move towards unity. I would like to invite our Student Government President, Jade, to come forward as she reminds us about responsibility.
Hi everyone, it's so nice to actually be talking to people during the assemblies versus staring at that camera right there. So this is really nice, I'm excited. So as you guys know, January's pillar is responsibility, which I talked about at the last assembly. So responsibility is having an obligation to do something or having control over or care for someone as part of one's job or role. So Ms. Kohuth is going to be announcing the winner for responsibility.
Thank you, Jade. And as we know, for the pillar of each month, this month being responsibility, we always like to recognize everyone who has been nominated. So if you are here in our audience live, or if you are in our virtual audience, we would invite you to stand if you hear your name. Here are the nominees for Character Counts Responsibility: Kylie Beecraft, Katie Berger, Katie Forbes, Haley Leonardo, Nick Lynch, Elizabeth Michaels, Jay Nunez, Rebecca O'Neill, Sienna Paulus, and John Reddick. Let's hear it for those nominees for the pillar of responsibility. And now let me give you some information about the nominee who was selected. This person always tries his or her best at everything he or she does in the classroom. This person is extremely self-disciplined and will ask questions about projects that he or she has started weeks before they are even due. Additionally, this teacher thinks this student is incredibly polite and friendly to teachers, to staff, and to peers. Another nomination came through saying this person is responsible as a student leader, exhibits accountable behavior in multiple situations. This person, as an adult, is inspired by the nominee's character as a true leader, as she infuses the traits of responsibility in other students by honoring commitments, consistently making mature decisions, and prompting other students to shine. And with that, we would like to recognize Rebecca O'Neill. Rebecca's parents are here this morning to accept her nomination and her gifts. And with that, we would like to invite them to come forward. It actually looks like Mrs. O'Neill might even have Becca on FaceTime or be recording what's going on. We have a check for $50. That is live. So Dan, make sure that gets to Becca.
Thank you.
We have a plaque. You'll also be receiving a large check that she can decorate her room with. Congratulations, Becca! And in addition, when Becca is on campus, she has her special parking spot out on the west side. Let's hear it for Becca. And I believe there's someone to take a quick picture. He's back there if you'd like to step on up. Thank you, Al. See, we even got the phone going, so you can have Becca in there. Thank you. Thank you. And now, Jade, I welcome you back up to talk about February's Pillar of Caring.
Okay, so this month's pillar, as Ms. Koguth says, is caring. So we're going to watch a video on the importance of caring for others.
Florida homeowners, flipping this switch meant that I never have to pay an electric bill ever again.
A.D. Williams once said, "Imagine what 7 billion humans could accomplish if we loved and respected one another." Just imagine. Imagine if there was no greed. Imagine if there was no comparison. If everyone was running their own race, but cheering for all others at the same time. Maybe we'll never see that in our lifetime. But what we all can do is start with ourselves. Start with yourself. Choose to lift others up. Choose to set the example of kindness and integrity. The example of compassion and understanding. There's a quote that says, "No matter how educated, talented, rich, or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all." Integrity is everything. It really is. Who you are is far more important than what you have, and it will always be. Who you are is measured by how you make others feel. Be kind to each other. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. Choose to be the change you wish to see in the world. Decide you will not wait for someone else. You will set the example. Be kind. Because you never know how much that person is suffering inside. You never know the difference your words can make, the difference your presence can make, the difference you can make to one human life. Be the reason someone believes in the goodness of humanity. Be the reason someone else decides to make a difference in others. Be the influence you want to see more of. Always do what is right, not what is easy in the moment. Kindness spreads like a virus. When you do good to another, that person does better to those they come in contact with. You really can make a big difference in the world today and every other day. Anne Frank said, "In the long run, the sharpest weapon of all is a kind and gentle spirit." No one has ever made themselves great by showing how small another is. Be kind and always build others up to the best of your ability. Treat everyone with the same level of kindness that you would like for yourself. Not because everyone is nice, Because karma makes no sense. Because it is right. Because you have integrity. Because you want this world to be better when you leave than when you arrive.
Okay, so caring is personally one of my favorite pillars just because it has to do a lot with our SGA initiative. So remember, if you're feeling a bit down or you need somebody or you need to feel cared for, we have the Take One sheets in the restrooms, both the boy and the girls' restrooms. All right, so for the Caring Cranes, can I have Sadie, our junior representative, come up, and Dr. Judd?
So before we have a chance to pick the winner, there's two people on this list who happen to be in the room on opposite sides even, who had no idea that they have been selected as a weekly Caring Crane. So I'll give a quick update on that because Jasper and Emily have already been announced. They were the first 2 weeks of January. Emily's name's out on the big signboard right now. Jasper's was last week. But we also have two for this week. Cooper Highland. Cooper, there's Cooper. Cooper was very prompt to report an issue with the patio doors. Last week, some of you may have seen that our patio door was not letting people in with their IDs, etc. Very important, responsible decision for safety to come and let us know, and for convenience. It's also a caring move to make sure that you guys were able to have access to the doors. So for that, Cooper, you are being recognized. And Riley Dooley. Riley, what did I see? Over here. Riley found, as she was entering the restroom, she found a set of keys. And before even getting any further in the restroom, she quickly went to bring them to the front office, ran into me in the hallway. But she knew those keys would be important to somebody who was missing them, and for that, was very caring and responsible and kind to get those to the rightful owner before you even had a chance to go to the bathroom. Very kind, Riley Dooley. Look, I just made you all one name. Woo! All right, so now I'll turn it over to SGA to pick the winner of the gift card. You can see
All
the
right,
dashboard.
so before we pick a winner, I just want all of us to give a round of applause to these Caring Cranes. Alrighty, so Sadie, pick a winner. I'm sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong, but Jasper Kimboot.
Right, I don't think I see Jasper here, but Jasper will come, and whoever sees Jasper first, or Cyrus, please make sure he comes to see me.
Alrighty, Jasper, if you're watching, go see Dr. Judd to pick your gift card. Thank you, guys.
Okay, now we are going to recognize honor roll from last semester. First all A's and then all A's and B's. No need to have to come up, just stand whenever you're called, if you're here. So for all A honor roll from last semester, we have Rakik Amy, Audrey Anderson, Joseph Arias, Kylie Beecraft, Caitlin Berger, Ethan Borlaug, Hunter Braun, Samantha Burr. I'll be here for a while. There's a lot of you that did really well this semester. Amelia Camejo, Kayla Carroll, Ella Carswell, Chloe Clark, Eliana Cotton, Mila DeForest, Nate DeForest, and Paige DeForest. Matthew Devaney, Delaney Dyer, Isabella Elg, Langley Elg, Emma Elliott, Olivia Frankfurt, Lisbeth Giles, Sydney Gilliam, Lucas Gallardi, Katie Hale, I saw Katie in here, Alexander Johansson, Coulter Kendall,
Coulter's here.
Anderson Cruz, Liam Lepak, Nicholas Lynch, Veryl Martinez, Kaya McCann, Evan McCarthy, Ramses Morantes, Jay Nunez, Micah Okerson, Rebecca O'Neill, Emily Osborne, Brett Pavlik, Sienna Perez, Matt Peterson, Brooke Piccoli, Jordan Pluki, Renee Rivas, Mallory Schweitzer, Kevin Sir-Antoine, Carolyn Smith, Connor Smith, Juliana Vallone, Hunter Volanino, Angela Wang, Steven Weiss, Ben Wetterer, Julia Williams, Zoe Williams, and Morgan Wright.
Okay, everybody whose name is called and you're in the room, stand up so we can give you a round of applause.
Now to the more extensive list for all A's and B's from last semester. We have Jordan Abbott, Kaylee Aitken, Adrian Arteta, Catherine Bakanowski, Connor Burrell, Luke Bartnick, Stephen Bartolotta, Emily Batten, Marley Boronsky, Parker Bone, Emma Boyer, Evan Bose, Gianna Brooks, Emily Canales, Alexandra Celentano, Juliana Chavez, Cole Chmielewski, Lauren Chaffee, Angelina Cody, Larissa Coleman, I saw Larissa, Aaron Craig, Skylar Crumpler, Alexander DeCesar, Cole Degner, Christina Delasky, Mike Adamski, Rose Eigelberger, Ashley Elkins, Ariana Fairchild, Ashley Farias, Katie Fors, Cecilia Galeas, Sam Gaskell, Brianna Gasparini, Erica Gertzik, Maya Gill, Ava Gunter, Pearson Hendricks, Cade Henriksen, Caleb Hernandez, Marie Giuliano, Carson Catry, Maya Knowles, Tatum Cavappel, Emmanuel Lara, Billy Legg, Haley Leonardo, Hannah Leonardo, Rihanna Leapak, Ava Lovelace, Sadie Mann, Sam McCreary, Dylan McGarity, Elizabeth Michaels, Sarah Michaels, Jessica Morales, Dirk Morehouse, Bailey Moselle, Caitlin Mulcahy, Harry Papapanos, Solana Perez, Taylor Piccoli, Sienna Paulus, Philip Porter, Derek Ravanzo, Stephen Ressler, Elia Ricciardi, Caroline Riggs, Jacob Broman, Vera Rao, Jonathan Rucker, Marissa Salguero, Sam Schroeder, Juliana Sequeira, Ali Sherrill, Peyton Shore, Anya Simmons, Braden Sinicki, Alcyon Taffa, Taylor Thornhill, Ruby Tucker, Vincent Ternese, Morgan Uber, Riley Van Sutendahl, Sam Vinci, Lauren Wadsworth, Roman Woodcock, Leslie Yanez, Abe Zabib, and William Zwartz. So everyone that's in here can stand. And you'll also see your names out on the AVLA and out on the screens after today's assembly. So congratulations to all of you. And next up, Ms. Cooper.
I would like to invite to the front on behalf of Clark's Interact team, both Sarah Michaels and Joseph Arias. Woo.
Hi, my name is Sarah Michaels,
I'm Joe.
and we are part of the Interact organization here at Clark. And in February, we are doing a donation and fundraiser to LLS, which is Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
We do this every year. For those of you who were here last year, you probably remember. It's a great cause. They help people. See you on the next slide.
Okay, why LLS? The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is the largest voluntary health organization dedicated to fighting blood cancer in the world. 18.1 million people were diagnosed with cancer in 2018, and 9.5 million cancer-related deaths were caused worldwide. By 2040, the number of new cancer cases are expected to rise to 29.5 million, along with cancer-related deaths to 16.4 million.
In the U.S. alone, experts predict that over 10,500 children under the age of 15 will be diagnosed with cancer in 2021. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, we have a quick video for you guys to watch.
So here's some ways you can help. This month of February is all about LLS. So starting on, I think, the 14th, there's Valentine's Day, we're doing candygrams. Some of you may remember back last semester we did candygrams. Everyone really liked them, we're doing it again. So you can we're selling them for $3 a bag or 2 for $5. So you can give them to your best friend, to your significant other if you have one, or just your friend. But there's also the bingo night coming up after that. We will be selling some refreshments there, along with other clubs. The proceeds from that go all directly to LLS, the stuff that we sell. And then also there will be...
At bingo night, it will be really fun, so you can bring your friends and family. You can also donate loose change for Change. That's where today and yesterday Interact was holding a bucket, and you can donate your loose change and everything. That will be going towards LLS through the 23rd and 24th. You can also show your support by purchasing a blood drop that you can write your name on. Last year, if you guys remember, we had a whole LLS wall filled in the back patio with all the names and everything, so we will be planning to do that this year too. You can buy a blood drop the February 1st through 19th, and each blood drop will be $1.
So make sure to show your support and buy some.
Yep, and that's it.
Okay, now my turn. All right, I sent out on Friday that we have a contest coming for Black History Month, which is celebrated in February. This is a fun and easy way to learn a little something as well as win a little something, also known as gift cards. The national theme for this month is the Black family representation, identity, and diversity. So you want to focus on anything to do with that theme, which is pretty general, and create, as it says, a poem, a PowerPoint, a short story, some type of artwork, something to be creative and to share about that theme so that others can also learn. So you need to either drop your entry off or get it to me by email no later than February 19th, so you have a couple weeks, but Monday is February 1st already, so don't delay on this. And at the end of February, early March, we'll be having an assembly where we will have a speaker, either live or through Zoom, about this theme and about Black History Month, so we would like to be able to share them by then. So that is all I have for that contest. Is anybody from Yearbook coming up to speak, or we're just telling? Going once, going twice, sold. Okay, Yearbook. There is still time through this Friday. It's only 2 more days to order your yearbook. Yearbook would love for you to purchase a yearbook so much that they are offering up 3 free yearbooks. In order to be entered, you either had to have already ordered a yearbook or order one before this Friday. And if you are one of the 3 lucky winners, they will reimburse you the cost of what you paid for the yearbook. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a unique one. And who would not want to have down the road their yearbook from the year that school was real different? Lots of good memories on there. I hope that next year's yearbook we won't have any mask pictures, unless we have a masquerade dance. So make sure you get in there and order that yearbook. And then I'm going to do one quick announcement before Mrs. Kohuth comes up to talk about School Choice Week. I'm going to put on my mean administrator hat. We have a school-wide printer for you to use, and we encourage you, when something is necessary to be printed for your schoolwork, that you go ahead and use it. However, we have stacks of things that don't get picked up. These are 2 giant piles of some songs and some Mrs. Bartow class survey of human body, some math stuff. When you hit print on the front office printer, come pick it up. Only hit print once. If there's an issue, we will get it resolved. Don't keep hitting print because you think it didn't show or you can't find it. Any issues with printing to the front, please see Mr. McCrory and he will help straighten them out. We got to a point almost every school year where we have to shut that privilege down because we're having a whole lot of trees killed and people aren't picking their stuff up. We don't want to have to do that this year. We want to be able to let you guys print what you need to for your academics. So here is your warning. Please make sure you do that. And now Mrs. Kohuth, back to nice happy stuff.
Actually, I'm going to stay stern for a moment. Because responsibility not only with the printer, but also with your key access and people visiting our building. Please, please, please do not let anyone into the building. If they are to get into the building, they have their own ID. We had someone sitting in our building the other day who was not our student. Fortunately, I recognized all 250 of you, whether you have your masks on or not. And we were able to pick up that person and bring that person to the front so we could get information. But unfortunately, we learned that that person walked in with another student. So please, 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 unless you absolutely, positively know that person because they are your bestie, do not allow someone to come in with you, especially when that person is not a Clark student. Okay, now the nice Mrs. Kohuth. We are in the midst right now of National School Choice Week. You will have seen signs that many of you already created about why this is your favorite place to be as a school. If you have not had the opportunity yet to sign a poster or to make a small poster of your own, by all means, please do that. We've got some out in the cafeteria area. We also have them in the front office area. You also, on your way out, can wear a sticker, grab a sticker to wear a sticker. Please make sure it does not make it onto our walls or our toilets or our mirrors. It is only for you to wear or place it on your backpack or something to that effect. Show your pride in the fact that you have made the choice to be at a choice school right here at Clark. We also have wristbands back there. You are welcome to grab a wristband as well. And that would show through your pride with yellow that you have made a choice to be here at Clark. I would like to invite up our 2 teachers of English Language Arts, because truly when we think about literacy, we think about reading and writing. And today, actually this entire week, is the Celebrate Literacy Week throughout the state of Florida.
Sorry, y'all get to experience what my poor first block has put up with. Okay, so I was thinking about literacy, and it says, stories are told and writing your next chapter. I find that literacy is kind of what gives me, reading and interacting with stories and with text is what gives me kind of a unique way to look at the world. It's like I can kind of make different connections and I can understand different things that are happening, not because I have literally done things, that I'm reading about, because I've read about them and looked at how other characters and other people think about different situations, and it's kind of helped to broaden my mind, increased my tolerance, made me more accepting of the different ways that people act and behave, and helped kind of give me insight so that I'm less judgmental, less likely to jump to conclusions, and it's given me different ways to kind of look at what people do and why people do what they do. Things that wouldn't happen if I didn't read books obsessively over and over again. Because I'm one of those, like when Harry Potter came out, I read book 1. When book 2 came out, I read book 1, then book 2. When book 3 came out, I read book 1, book 2, book 3. I know, I'm a nerd. It's okay.
Reading book 7.
By the time I was reading book 7, I only went back to book 4 because I didn't have that much time in my life. But I read book 6 in 7 hours because I had to read it from beginning to end because I couldn't stand to not know what happened. So that's it. Literacy can really just open your eyes to a whole bunch of different things and experiences that you did not even know existed. So read a lot of different things, and experience a whole world around you.
Thank you, Ms. Lynch. Well said. I wanted to ask you a question. Does anyone know what the purpose of literature is, or the motto of literature is?
Rule 1102, come on, we talk.
Inform, persuade, or entertain?
Close. The purpose of literature is to teach and delight the reader. Right? This is what's been believed, at least in this country. And the times that we live in, it seems like it calls for us to add another word to that motto. So it could be, to teach and delight and unify. We live in a time in our country where there's so much disunity that sometimes at times literature can teach us a lesson on how to be one and become one, especially in the country that we live. We are living in the United States of America. There is a reason why the word united is in the name of our country. So we should never forget that. So I wanted to read a poem that more or less connects to that idea. And the poem is Alone by Maya Angelou. Lying thinking last night, how to find my soul at home, where water is not thirsty and bread loaf is not stone. I came up with one thing, and I don't believe I'm wrong, that nobody can make it up here alone. Alone, all alone. Nobody can make it up here alone. There are some millionaires with money they can use. Their wives run around like banshees. Their children sing the blues. They have got expensive doctors to cure their hearts of stone. But nobody can make it up here alone. Alone, all alone. Nobody can make it up here alone. Now, if you listen closely, I'll tell you what I know. Storm clouds are gathering. The wind is gonna blow. The race of man is suffering, and I can hear the moan. Because nobody can make it up here alone. Nobody can make it up here alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. H. and Mr. E. And that brings our assembly to a close. Keep in mind, we would love for you to very cautiously take a sticker if you don't already have one and a wristband, and please proceed to your second block class. And remember, it's early dismissal. We will be saying goodbye at 12:15.
And there's some stickers up here too if you don't want to
There's stickers spread around. Stickers are all spread through the back. Make sure you grab them.
College.